actually never had the goal to go into real estate.
So you're more of a city person, a sea person.
Well, Meidan Horizon has a very interesting concept.
And
For all agents, listeners,
I sent a message to my RM and like, good job.
finally.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the podcast session with Aamil. And today we have a very special guest known as the real estate Blondie, owner and CEO of Blondes Real Estate, Miss Angelika from Germany. Um, Angelika, hope you're well. And thank you for joining us today in this session.
Thank you, Aamil. I'm happy to be here.
So, we've known obviously each other for quite a while. But before we jump into the real estate part, um, I know obviously you came from Germany and you've mentioned in the past that you came from a medical background. Real estate was something very new to you. But we would want to know more about how you came to Dubai, what made you come to Dubai, and how did you decide to actually do what you're doing right now?
Yeah, good question. Probably not the typical start to come to Dubai with a plan and a goal and everything. So, at that time, I moved to Dubai, like just randomly somehow, and probably the worst time you can move to a different country in COVID when the world was shut down, all the markets were shut down. And I moved to Dubai with my school friend at that time to build something, but we actually never had the goal to go into real estate, to be real estate company owners and agents and build a personal brand. All of that developed out of an idea to go out of the mainstream life in Germany of being an employee and working in the medical field. I actually always wanted to be a doctor. That was my goal in life. Didn't happen, obviously.
Well, you're a doctor of real estate right now.
if you want to call it that way. But yeah, we moved to Dubai to start new life or like to establish something for ourselves. And Dubai fascinated us, like the buildings, the architecture. This is not something that we knew from Germany in that scope. Like in some big cities, you have skyscrapers, but usually you don't. And that was basically the point where we said, okay, let's go and check out the buildings, the developers, and see what real estate offers. And then we got into the whole real estate.
So you're just starting shooting content from there
Yes,
in and
out of our own interest, not out of like making money, or we never had any clients, never were in contact with people who have like wealthy people or investors. And out of our own interest, we discovered the real estate field, and that's how we created content, built a personal brand.
it just started going viral.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. So over these years, you've been doing obviously a series of things that you think have been a success story for you. What's that one thing that you think is the driving force behind that success, and what is that commitment? What kind of commitment is it that is it required to do the same thing, or what's the recipe? Let's say we wouldn't ask for the right recipe, but what's that one thing that you really need to do?
Honestly, I don't think there is a recipe. I think everyone has its like their own way to success in the end. But the main thing is, as you've probably heard a lot of people say, consistency. Because there's gonna be good times, there's gonna be tough times, and to just keep going and also work for the long term, like not for short-term money, short-term deals. Because that's gonna go away at some point. And if you also like in terms of clients, keep long-term relationships with them and really give value not only to followers but also to clients, to people in your surrounding. That's what makes you successful in the end, to sustain all the different phases of life.
No, I agree. Of course, consistency is the right key. A lot of new brokers, I think, they want a hit and run thing, but in order to stay in the game, I guess this is the only way to go.
Yeah, I mean, you have been in Dubai for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you have seen many people come and go as well. Um, yeah, Short term is not gonna work in Dubai for sure.
You dominantly work with the German market
German speakers, yeah.
and German speakers, and based in Dubai, based around the world, and there are obviously every nationality has a different mindset. When you deal with people from Pakistan, like where I'm from, they work in a different style. People from Russia, France, we work with all of these people. You are more hands-on with the German market. What do you think? What is it that they really need when they're investing? What's their mindset?
Most important part is reliability, like to have a trustworthy partner who guides them from A to Z through all the different processes, because 80% of our investors are not living in Dubai, probably even 90%. So they're not familiar with the pace, like the market is super fast. You have to be fast without any floor plans sometimes and brochures to secure a unit. Like that's not common in Germany. So to have someone who can be transparent and to guide you through the different processes of investing in a different country. But also developer wise, just in Germany, we're used to high quality materials and finishes to get the same from a developer, and not only the materials, but especially like the after sales process, to have a good communication, to feel that the developer is really there for the clients and not disappears after you bought the unit and then you can never reach anyone. So that's also where we come in place, of course, to manage that. But those are the main points.
So it's ideally so basically the trust, quality, and the post-sales service.
Yeah.
Communication part of it.
Yes.
So Dubai, obviously, in the last 6 years, you've probably seen communities rise in front of you, and it's a fast-growing city with a lot of major infrastructure developments going in every day in our everyday life in every corner of Dubai. And how do you see Medan Horizon as one of the areas which is recently coming up? And how do you think it will shape the future of Dubai?
Well, Meydan Horizon has a very interesting concept, a combination out of not only residential but also commercial projects, which I find very useful in today's market, especially with traffic not being the best and delays. So everyone who, yeah, wants to live in a good quality project, which we have available in this area, also wants to work somewhere, like live where they work. So that's why I think it's a good combination of different styles of buildings, but also, of course, the lagoon is a special feature which not every community has, and definitely the distance to downtown.
So you're more of a city person, a sea person in general, more of a beach lover or a city lover?
It has changed over the years. I
Yeah.
lived for quite some time in downtown, so I really enjoyed the big city life and yeah, just to have everything around me. Nowadays, I'm more a quiet person, so I enjoy living next to the water in a quieter community, which is close to downtown, but not like in the city center with all the traffic and noise.
All right. So basically, you're saying in a nutshell that when Medan Horizon comes up in the next 3, 4 years, it will be a community which is like a downtown and next to the water. So it will be a perfect blend for
Mm,
people like you.
yes.
So I think it will be a German thing. Would it be a German thing?
I think so. The it covers a lot of points. Um, Next to the water, amazing facilities, parks, schools. Like it's not only for entrepreneurs, it's for families as well, but also for people who come here holiday for short term. It's interesting because you're close to every like major point in Dubai and at the same time in a oasis kind of community.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it will shape up as a very good community.
Yeah.
You've been dealing with buyers since COVID. You've seen different price points, pre-COVID, post-COVID, during COVID, and now. What has been a general mindset for the kind of audience that you cater to? Like there are some kind of people who are like flip, flip, flip all the time. They don't have money more than 20%, and they are attracted by a different set of brokers. Then there are some players in the market who are more long term. some end users. So what's that kind of people that you're more associated with, and what's their mindset?
Definitely with long-term people, investors, because in the end, I believe in real estate, it's a long-term game and it's not like for tomorrow. In the past years, it has worked, like to flip properties in Dubai, but the market has changed and there's a lot of flippers nowadays, and it's more speculation. So I always advise to look for a long-term investment to rent out, and then we have seen it over the years in Dubai that there's a fluctuation, but in the end, the people who hold on to their properties, they always succeed and make money and make profit.
As you know, that Prescott is one of the companies that you're working with as under Golden Bridge, and I remember still when we came in early and we tried to work with you, and you were like, "I want to see and I want to feel it before I do anything," because you were very particular about the quality. And one fine day, I saw a story about you that you've posted for a show apartment of Prescott, and I was like, I sent a message to my RM and like, good job.
Finally.
You satisfied the real estate blondie. And then obviously since then we've been doing things. So now when it comes to the Caden by Prescott, obviously we have these three certifications about lead, wellness, and technology. How do you think it makes a difference on any project? Because I mean, in the market, you have competitive developers around the area, in the neighborhood, for example, and similarly in the similar price point. How do you think these kind of things can change something?
Yeah, that's a very good point about to feel and see actually what is there. Like that's something that we pay attention to when selecting developers and projects. We first want to see how are the projects being delivered in the same quality as on the renders, as on the brochures, because that's mainly different in Dubai's market nowadays, unfortunately. Like the brochures can look beautiful, but then in the end, how's the product going to look like? And thankfully, we found that to be yeah, really good in your projects. And with the certificate that you mentioned, that's something that is rare in Dubai. So we have seen it in high-end luxury projects, very well known as well. And so that also gives credibility to the project that it has, yeah, some quality standards that you can rely on.
So, lastly, I wanted to ask, so obviously in this dynamic market of Dubai, we've seen a growth of a lot of developers, so many projects that it's hard to remember names. But obviously, you can only work with some. And well, with Golden Bridge, obviously, you have the opportunity to choose multiple developers. What kind of value can Golden Bridge bring when it comes to choosing whether to work with a certain developer or not?
Mm. Yeah, what we have seen in the last projects that you chose or developers that you have worked with, those are trusted developers, good quality. So it gives brokers also, yeah, some trust on that sense that you are selecting developers carefully on metrics, that they deliver good products, and as well, of course, to have someone who manages the communication between the developer and the brokers, and then of course we communicate with the clients as well. To have someone in the middle who organizes all of that is definitely helpful. Also for commissions payout. Not to
All
chase the
right.
developer all the time.
No, we obviously do our best to make sure that the brokers are satisfied. I've been a broker, so
Yeah.
we always fight for the brokers with the developers. Yeah. So, lastly, I would just like a piece of advice from you to our listeners, um, to all the people who are living abroad, to all the newcomers who are in Dubai. What is that one main advice that you would give to them here, that they can take and benefit in the to improve in their career, that you let's say would follow, that is the code of your discipline, the code of your success?
Yes, so to all agents, listeners, definitely honesty and consistency is the key. So communicate honest with your clients, with your partners, and work on the long term. And this is how you will succeed at some point for sure.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Angelica,
Thank you.
for joining us today. Your words of wisdom are much appreciated, and we hopefully, in the same way, look forward to continue doing business with you in the long term and forever until you are here. And if we need medical advice back in Germany, we will also ask for your
I
help.
think there is better people for that, but thank you. And looking forward to more amazing projects.